Guys, hello, may sound na? Hello? Hello, hello? May sound? Can you guys hear me? Benj, Paul, hello? Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up? Can you guys hear it? Let me know kung narinig nyo. Alright. Great. You can hear me, guys. Perfect. You guys can hear me pretty well. Good na. Okay, good. Thank you, Benj. Okay, so this is going to be a online class. It's actually live, so that we can save it in our YouTube page. Perfect. So, thanks, Benj. Thanks, guys. So roll call. So who's here? We have Paul. We have Benji. We have Christopher. Who else is here? Roll call. I need to see who you guys are. Kailangan kompleto kayo. Mga estudyante ko. So who are here? Wala pa si Dave. Wala pa si Ange. Alright, sige. Hey, can you guys see the screen? Yeah? So what we're going to be doing is, ang gagawin natin is, sa YouTube. Ano ba nangyari? Alright, so, okay, cool. Okay, so, who are online, good afternoon. So, Ange, andito na. Okay, good, so, we are 5. Perfect. Guys, you can see the screen? Yeah? So, I'll start already, yeah. So, let's wait for I won't wait for the others. So, if you have any questions, what you can do is you can actually ask the questions on the comment section. So my style of teaching is usually I teach via I like questions a lot, so you guys might as well ask questions to me so that I can entertain you guys. All right. So this is basically how we're going to be doing it. I'll be teaching. I'll be giving you all the different slides. It's very quick lang naman. It's maybe 30 minutes of the presentation, and if you have any questions, you can actually just ask on the comment section. I'll just post it na rin, so that people can see the comments. No? So this is actually the first online class for March. This is basically my experience with dealing with customers as Experienced Philippines. No? As you know, the brand naman, karamihan sa inyo tumutulong ngayon sa Experienced Philippines. So napapansin nyo naman ang mga ginagawa natin. No? So madalas, in any business, alam natin na kailangan natin mag-alaga ng customer, right? And then to be able to maximize our relationship with our customers is kailangan marunong ka rin makisama sa kanila. Hindi naman, may mga famous saying, di ba? Ano yung mga famous saying pagdating sa customers? Usually, ang famous saying dyan is, the customer is always right. Diba? Lagi niya narinig yun. Customer is always right. Or the customer, lahat dapat pag kailangan isusundan mo lahat yung sasabihin ng customer. You know, these are some of the questions that usually pop out whenever I talk about customer care. So maganda rin, no? So what you can do is you can actually ask your questions via the chat. So I can just post it and I can show it to everyone. So baka may some people that might be interested in it. All right. So let's proceed first with optimizing optimizing or how to optimize the customer experience. No, when you optimize something, remember when you optimize something, you're trying to maximize it. No? That's another way of saying it. You're trying to maximize something. There's several variables here and there's several components here. You have the optimization, how to maximize something. You have the customer, and then you have the experience. So what I'll do is I'll run down the lesson plan basically on I think I discussed already. I won't discuss Experience Philippines because you guys know us, this is actually a lesson for the interns of Experience Philippines, no? So, ayan, these are the guys. I think you haven't met these guys. These are the experience managers that we have. All right, so I won't discuss this anymore. All right. Let's go first to the first concept, no? What is a customer experience? So, generally, a customer experience is yung interaction ng mga tao or yung buyer with the seller sa negosyo nyo. So, anumang interaction yan, whether in what platform na mag-interact sa inyo, that is their experience. So, pwede sila magkaroon ng positive experience, pwede din sila magkaroon ng negative experience. Di ba? So, ang objective naman talaga natin, bilang negosyante, kung may negosyo kayo, or any business that you're going to be doing, if you're going to be in a career, if as a professional, you would always want to have a positive experience with your customer. Who are our customers? No, it can vary. There are many kinds of customers as well. Customers that buy from us, that's basically the external customer, the customer that goes to a store, goes to your online store, or pwede pumunta sa mag-book ng isang trip or anything. No, that is actually your external customer that usually nag-purchase in exchange for for that service or for that product. Magbibigay sila ng pera sa'yo in exchange. The other type naman is actually the internal customers. These are customers that you have in your, let's say, place of work. They are also your customers kasi team members are also part of your customers. So, but however, for the sake of this topic, we're not going to be discussing the internal customers, meaning their team members or the people in the organization. We will not do that. But it will be a good mindset then so that you can actually look at it now. When you study the external customers, it's the customers we exchange products and service with, pwede nyo apply yung certain principles with dealing also with your teammates who are your internal customers, right? So going back to the definition, customer experience is how the customer perceives, okay, pag-isip, any individual interaction, okay, as well over interaction they have with the business. So where does the interaction happen? So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. The interaction can happen either in a call, pwede silang tumawag sa'yo, okay? The interaction can be via email. So they message you, that can be that interaction. They can interact with you in your social media platform. Let's say chat sa Facebook, or chat sa Instagram, or chat sa TikTok, or chat sa Twitter, or something like that. So that can also be an avenue for interaction. Another way is actually in person, meaning sa actual store, pumasok sa loob ng tindahan, bumili ng produkto, the interaction that you have with them, that is an example of an interaction. Right now, as you know, all of us are we are living in an environment or in the history where we are actually part of a pandemic. You know, the last pandemic, I think was the bubonic plague, pa, no? So we are kind of like in a very important part of our history that majority of us now are, we have less time interacting outside, and then we have more time interacting in the internet, so online. So there are certain changes in the way we converse, okay, in the way we talk to our clientele, but there are also important changes that we have to look into, like how technology affects also our interaction, right? So I'm just giving you where the interaction happens, no? So every touch point of this, okay, every touch point, whether tumawag siya sa'yo, whether nag-chat siya sa'yo, whether nag-email siya sa'yo, or whether bumisita siya sa'yo sa tindahan mo, all these points are important to grow and improve, no? So there's no such thing as a perfect way of interacting with them. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for optimization or maximizing the customer experience. Why am I saying this? Because the first interaction, alam niyo na yung saying, no? In fact, ginagamit ito madalas ng acts, no? So really, the first impression really does matter. Like kung ikaw magde-date ka with someone, usually they always put the best foot forward. So pagandahan, pagwapuhan, So medyo lagi kang maganda dapat makita sa'yo. Kasi nga, that's the first impression that they would have of you. Okay? Customers like that. That mindset of a customer is that whether they have a good impression of you, whether they have a good relationship with you on the first encounter, that would dictate how they're going to interact with you succeeding times. No, if it's a bad experience, most likely they will not. Like there's almost maybe beyond 50% chance that they will interact with you again. No, but if they do have a good experience, the likelihood of them interacting with you increases tenfold. So might as well focus on the good experience. So like I said, times have changed. No, the way we deal with individuals now or with customers now have dramatically different. Like 2019, before the pandemic, majority would go to malls, would go to the stores, would purchase product. Come 2020, nagbago na lahat yan. Diyan nagsimula yung mga online resellers, diyan nagsimula na yung mga food deliveries, diyan nagsimula yung mga grocery delivery. So, nag-iba na yung scale, and everything can be done via the mobile device. So, that's another change as well. So, anywhere you are, you can access, as long as you have an internet connection, you can have access to your where you want to buy something. Kaya uso ngayon yung Lazada, uso na ngayon yung Salamat Shopee. So, dahil sa technology has grown so differently over the past few months, no? And especially for Filipinos, dati kasi very resistant ang Pinoy sa tech. No? If you go to the provinces, in fact, that's the nakakagulat nga lang, majority of the interactions now in terms of payment is GCash. So the electronic payment system. Dati, for experienced Philippines, lagi pupunta pa sila sa bangko, magde-deposit sila para magbayad ng booking. Ngayon, hindi na. Kasi pwede na sa app na lang. Pwede na lang padala pwede na sila mag-QR code, padala sa BPI. Okay, tapos. So it makes there's a certain change, there are changes, and the businesses have to adapt to that. We all have to adapt to that. If you have a business, and if you're planning to have a business, even a small passion project that you have to adapt to that as well. Another way of people are selling, which I really found interesting, is this, FB live selling. Excuse me. This is kind of unique because they utilize the capacity of live stream, like this one that we're doing, to be able to sell products and services. And that's kind of unique way of that's a unique approach to selling products. So hindi na siya yung faceless email type or online store type. May action na tao na pwede mong tanungin, na pwedeng bentahan, no? And you have also these interactions na may mga tao rin na customers that are kind of like, I would say, siguro hindi lang sila marunong or madaming pagbabago nga na hindi pa nila alam. Usually may naka-post na price, pero how much pa rin po, per kita na yung price, no? So, may mga ganun cases kasi na kailangan intindihin mo rin yung kausap mo na tao. So, your mindset always have to be, or many times should have to be, that customers undergo several things. They have to put themselves in their shoes. So, sometimes hindi ganun they may ask certain stupid questions, but because it so happens that they lack information lang, right? And how we deal with that is important as well, so that we can actually provide a good service. Okay, so at the end of the day, as a business owner, like tayo sa Experience Philippines, it's very, very important for us to make a sale. That's one of the monetization, or making a sale is one of the important things. Why? Because kailangan natin mabuhay, kailangan natin magsweldo, kailangan natin magpagpagana ng negosyo. So kung may negosyo kayo, whatever business you're doing, let's say may laundry shop ka, or may nagbebenta ka ng coffee, importante talaga na makabenta ka. But simultaneously with that, like in the same concept, the same level, you have to also learn how to manage customers and customer expectations. That's why sometimes, in my experience kasi with dealing with, like I think ako ba kung nakwento ko na sa inyo before, like dealing with like the theme boxes, The reason why Experience Philippines was able to sell the theme the theme gift surprise boxes last year is because I really spent time talking to the people who are inquiring. Um, Many times may mga cases na nag-heartbreak sila, so ibubuhos nila yung loob nila. Although hindi ko naman trabaho na makinig sa kanila, no? Pero ang ganda rin kasi na gusto mo rin malaman what they're going through because I can apply that concept or what they're going through to the language that I can use for social media. But baka may market na talaga na ganun pinagdadaanan, yung nakipag-break, hindi nila alam ang gagawin, so magpapadala tayo ng secret admirer na gift box para lang, to check. Yung mga ganun, may mga strategy akong in-employ with some of them, that some of them worked, some of them did not work, no? So, why is customer experience important? So the first thing, customer experience is important because it shapes the concept of your brand. Okay, I will explain this later on. No? And then second is that customers or consumers really don't stick with companies that have bad customer service. And I'm sure you guys have probably had your experiences with that na hindi kadalasan, kunyari, bumili kayo sa isang kumain kayo sabi na natin, kumain kayo sa isang restaurant, tapos binigyan kayo nag-order ka ng burger. Pero yung burger na binigay sa'yo, ang lit-lit lang ng patty. Sabihin natin, ganyan lang kalit yung patty. Tapos parang laki-laki ng bread. So parang Angel's Burger. So unang kagat, tinapay lahat. O, di ba? so parang love ko Angel's Burger. Lumakay ako sa Angel's Burger. Yan ang nagpabuhay sa akin when I came back here. And I love Angel's Burger. But the experience is that if you start explaining, Kuya, bakit maliit lang yung patty? Tapos inaway ka ni Kuya. Would you go back to that restaurant or that place where you bought food? Most likely not, no? Because you had already a bad experience. Now, on the flip side of that, if you provide something that they were not expecting and it's a very good experience, the likelihood of them coming back is a lot higher. Second, the likelihood of them recommending your place to their friends and their family is also higher. So if you were a business owner, which one would you want to do? Obviously, you want to provide a good experience. That's why maximizing a customer experience is important. Because hindi lang naman, I don't know, if you notice, sila Benji, I think you had this experience already before, no? When I converse with a client in our Facebook page, nakita mo yung si Benji, nakita niya kasi conversation eh. So nakita niya na sometimes their questions are very, how do you put it, unrelated to exactly what they're purchasing, no? So their question is sometimes actually gusto lang nila makahanap ng kausap. Kung ikaw nandun ka sa situation natin, would you actually say sige, entertain mo siya or not, especially if you're busy, no, if you have a lot of inquiries, no? Majority would actually say, I'll be random na lang in my answers, no, parang robotic answer na lang tayo. But I did an experiment that what if I didn't do that? What if I actually inquired and entertained their questions? Like, nalaman ko na LDR pala sila, nalaman ko na iniwanan siya ng jowa niya, ginost siya, so, and then, and I'm not selling anything. What happens that, majority of them, I think 80% of them, hindi sila bumili at that time, but the following time, they went back to us, like some of them actually been inquiring again now, are actually willing to buy again, ay buy now, no? So hindi sila bumili that time kasi siguro naghahanap ng kausap, pero over the future, they eventually bought. And in fact, one person bought four times pa with Experience Philippines. No? Do you have any questions so far? Before I go on with, nakaano talaga si Benj. Guys, tanong, please write it down in the comment section if you have any questions. Do you have any questions? Wala? Goods tayo, goods? Okay. Walang questions so far. Alright. So if you have any questions, let me know. Right. So, now the question comes in, like, how can we best optimize our the customer experience, no? So this is actually from my experience, I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm not a renowned expert on customer care, but I'm actually speaking in my experience with Experience Philippines. No, because predominantly Experience Philippines and all of you guys are interns of Experience Philippines. Understand that we've been dealing with human beings since the time we started, and our clientele is, or our approach to dealing with our clients are actually human relationships. So I really put a lot of emphasis on human relationships, connections, community building. Lagi nyo narinig sa akin yan. Delivering happiness. Yan. So these are important for Experience Philippines because these are our values as a company, and this is why people come back to us time and time and again. So because we provide that experience as well that they will always remember, and they will always refer back to, so that they become a client really for life. No. So the first thing, ensure, one of the key strategies in optimizing the customer experience is really making sure that our online presence is optimized. That's one. No? Second is understand the customer journey. You can do that. Omnichannel engagement. I'll explain that later on. Monitoring your service levels. Okay, and then reinforcing the brand through positive reviews, content, and community. Let's go to the first one. Okay, ensure that your online presence is optimized. What does it mean? You guys are all part of the Gen Z generation. So you grew up already with a mobile device as a pagpanganak pa lang sa inyo, may mobile device na. So, ang unang regalo ng mga magulang, may cellphone na. Yeah. So, and that's kind of interesting because unlike the generation before us, it was usually may ano pa yan, ayoko na abutan yun, alam nyo na, yung fax machine, may fax machine pa yan, papadala ng mga purchase order, may ano pa yan, may tawag, usually may taga landline at tumatawag sa mga customers to, or pag may kailangan ka, hotline, mga ganyan. But because of the changes in technology, it changed also how we deal with the clients, kasi mas mabilis na. Before, pahirapan. Like, I suppose, I don't know kung may experience kayo with PLDT or Globe, no? Pag tumawag kayo sa hotline niya, bago kayo makausap ng PLDT, siguro maghihintay ka ng 1 hour, 2 hours, okay. So, kaya dami nagreklamos with Smart, with PLDT, or with Globe, or with any of the customer service, no? That's why madalas ginagawa nila, para lang mapansin sila, tinatag nila sa Facebook. Ginagawa nila, hoy Globe, ang taga-taga na mga ganito. So, yan. So, you usually hear that, or magra-rant yan sa Twitter, or magra-rant yan sa gagawa sila ng negative review sa Facebook page, para mapansin lang. Okay, magko-comment yan, basta-basta anywhere, anong post ng Globe, or ng Smart, or any of these brands, magpo-post lang sila, magko-comment lang sila doon, para mapansin lang. Right? Because ngayon nga, everything is done online. Majority of the transactions are done online. Payments are done online. It makes the transaction a bit more seamless and easy kasi nga you don't even have to leave the comforts of your home, and you can actually get something like food delivered to you. So every aspect of our business, you have to put that as your mindset. Now, teaching you guys as an intern, when you put yourself in the shoes of the business owner, eventually when you start having your own business, you have to always look at it at saan ba tayo present? Okay, saan ba tayo meron? Saan ba tayo wala? Anong gagawin natin para pagandahin natin ang presence natin sa mga kung saan man tayo? Kung nasa Facebook tayo, kung nasa Instagram ba tayo? Kasi hindi naman lahat ng negosyo kailangan nandun ka sa lahat ng mga bagay, mga online social media platforms na yan. Some of my friends, they don't promote in Facebook because they find Facebook too noisy. They stick to Instagram. And some of my friends, they make a lot of money in Instagram. Some of the people I know, TikTok. They use TikTok as their platform to sell, which is kind of interesting because mas mabilis yung transactions sa TikTok. Okay? Because they can message kagad, they can answer kagad. So, syempre, kung ikaw ang customer, mas gusto mo, nasasagot ka kagad, hindi ka maghihintay. In fact, one of the good things about Experience Philippines that I always hear from people who order from us or from buy from us is that we are very entertaining when we actually reply. So, and we reply, not naman immediately, sometimes we do, but we are very entertaining. So, hindi boring yung conversations with them, hindi robotic yung conversation. So, here, I shared here because I want you to understand that some people are not, but I don't know in your case, Lovis, since you guys are born in this generation already, that some people kasi are not very, like TikTok, they don't like it because, ay, China yan. Pangit ang China, kukunin yung mga kukunin yung mga data natin. Some people don't like Facebook kasi puro mga negative naman yan. But in my opinion, it's good when you sell something and when you wanna engage with your customers, you try to be here. Try to be always here. Have a website, have a Facebook page, have an Instagram. You can be in Shopify. You can even be in Lazada or Shopee. Have it out there so that they can easily reach out to you on their mobile device. Ganun lang kasimple yung so explain sa inyo. No? Because having yourself there and having yourself easily connected, for you and for me, it's very good because we generate feedback. And that feedback is important in improving our business. Right? So far, do you guys have any questions? Okay, none so far. Okay. Second, up top na natin second, is understand your customer journey. I would say that this is one of the most important mindset when you try to optimize the customer's experience. Understanding where they are coming from. Majority of the time, if you try out reaching out to certain brands that you follow in Facebook or Instagram or any social media, and they give you a very robotic reply or chatbot na lang magre-reply sa inyo, your personal experience with them somehow diminishes. Medyo lumiliit ng konti. Parang, ay, gusto ko sana kausap tao para mas maintindihan, ma-explain ko rin sa kanya. Naintindihan ko naman yung negosyo kasi gusto nila i-streamline. Kasi nga, kung pare-pareho naman yung tanong, usually may FAQs lagi yan. Kung ito naman lagi ng tanong, pwede mo i-click-click lang para masagot mo na yung tanong mo. Usually, mga tanong nila, how much? Kailan saan ang delivery? Kailan ba delivery niyan? Anong inclusions? Usually, mga ganun eh. Pwede naman na i-automate na lang yan eh. But sometimes some customers are I don't know, like they just want to talk to someone. So I'll give you an example. No? So this is an example of what we did for the theme boxes. This is a very interesting example because one, it's a product. It's something it's something physical. So they actually receive. So it's a very good example for this particular customer journey. Second is the concept behind it. Now, kasi alam niya naman, so for you guys who know Experience Philippines, we sell themed surprise gift boxes. So our themed surprise gift boxes have different relational themes. So may secret admirer gift box para kay crush. Meron tayong happy birthday gift box para sa may mga birthday. Meron tayong jowa gift box. Meron tayong ito, salamat sa iyo gift box. Is there a thank you gift box, no? I'll give you an example of this one, why I understand customer journey. In one of this one, I remember when we launched the theme boxes in December of 2020, we received a message in Instagram, no? And he wanted to order hindi niya sure kung ano order niya, jowa gift box o secret admirer gift box. That's one, hindi siya sure. Pangalawa, hindi siya sure rin kasi kung madideliver ng Experience Philippines sa lugar. So tinanong ko, why? Sabi niya, so nagkwento na siya. Kasi yung time ng pandemic, may jowa siya. Right? Yung jowa niya, March, tapos nagkaroon ng pandemic, March, but by the time nag-April, syempre, walang pwedeng lumabas. So, nagbalikan sa mga bahay-bahay nila. So, yung girlfriend, lalaki to, no? Yung girlfriend, bumalik ng bahay nila. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, hindi na siya binemessage ng girl. So for several months, the guy has been reaching out to the girl, tapos hindi siya pinapansin. Okay? Hindi siya pinapansin ng girl, no? Hindi siya tinetext back. So ngayon, syempre kung ikaw yung lalaki, magjowa kayo, hindi mo alam ano yung nangyari. So kinamento niya sa akin yan. So ako naman, nakinig naman ako. So ang haba ng conversation namin sa Instagram. So, tinanong ko ano yung nangyari. So, di siya sure. So, sabi niya, anong magandang box para dyan? So, sabi ko, obviously, parang hindi yata jowa. Kasi kung may nangyari na sa inyo, gusto mo na lang padala na natin ng secret admirer na gift box. Tapos, sa loob ng secret admirer, gagawa na lang tayo ng sulat. So, I wrote a very long letter, like a really, really long letter for him. Just to be able to, since he's not very good at writing daw, or he doesn't very good expressing his feelings, so when I listened to his conversation, sabi ko, ganito na tutulong ko sa'yo. Hindi pa siya bumibili guys, hindi pa siya bumibili na to, so he wasn't even buying anything. But this is what I can do for you, no? What I can do is, we can send the secret admirer gift box. That's one. Para lang, matest natin, nasan ba kayo sa relationship status nyo? Ginost ka ba niya? Break up na kayo? So, at least, para ito hindi masyadong, parang finding out, experiment natin kung ano ba yung relationship status. So, okay siya, game siya dyan. Second, address. Saan ba siya paano ba i-deliver? Alam mo ba yung bahay niya? Sabi niya, alam ko lang paano pumunta doon, pero hindi ko alam yung exact address, sabi niya. Patay tayo dito sa na to. Sige, alin natatandaan mo na address na lang? Natatandaan ko, Blue Gate, na malapit sa entrance ng sa subdivision, tapos kilala si so-and-so na ganito. So ano yung lugar? So, binigay niya yung general lugar. Sige. Tinanong ko ngayon sa may courier service natin, alam niyo ba yung lugar na to? Alam naman. Sige. Okay tayo dyan. We can deliver to that person na lang. So, at least alam namin yung lugar. Third, hindi ako marunong magsulat. Hindi ko alam paano express yung nararamdaman ko, mas marinig lang niya. Patay tayo dito, sabi ko. Kasi, ganito na lang, tutulungan kita magsulat. So, nagsulat ako, haba ng sulat. Pinabasa ko muna sa kanya, may go signal naman niya. So, anyway, at the end of the day, he ordered the box. We delivered it. In fact, we had a hard time finding the place, but we managed to find the house naman. Tumanggap, and the sad part is, ito yung pinaka-nakakalungkot na part, is that tinapon yung box ng babae. After opening it, nakita yung letter, tinapon yung box. So, the guy found out about it rin. So, he messaged again, Experience Philippines, and then said that he explained what happened. No? So, umiyak siya and everything else. I really felt sad for the guy. So, but that moment that we went out of our way, he became one of a big fan of Experience Philippines. So, lagi siya nagpa-follow sa page. Natanong niya kung kailan na yung singles road trip na Experience Philippines. At the end of the day, for me, even though he purchased the box, we went out of our way because I understood that was actually he was looking for. That someone would actually guide him, figure things out, and help him figure things out kung ano ba yung relationship status niya with that girl. And obviously, ginost na siya ng girl, or may nangyari sa kanilang dalawa, or nakipag-break pala pero hindi lang masabi ng girl. No? But someone needed to understand that, although it's not our business, it's not experience, that's the experience business to find out. But it was in that context of ordering the secret admirer box that made him want to say, yep, I'll order. Yep, I'll purchase this. Yep, I'll do this. I'll do that. So that helped out a lot. In this particular case naman, another example of why customer journey is important. This is a happy birthday box, a wholesome box. But if you see the picture here, this is actually the one who sent the message to us that, hey, can you send my best friend a happy birthday box? But I want it wholesome and X-rated at the same time. So this thing that you see here, and don't get any bad ideas, no? This thing to say here is actually part of our humor. So ginawa namin, so nagpadala kami ng napakagandang box na yan for Gabriel, ganyan. Tapos, eto, nilagay kami ng letter sa loob. Ang nilagay namin ng letter sa loob is, nilagay namin, please open inside the bedroom. Yan, kasi X-rated siya. So nilagay na ganyan. Tapos nag-message sila ngayon, eventually nag-message sila ulit sa amin. So nag-message siya sa akin, sabi niya sa akin, that was the best birthday gift for my friend. Why? Because tawa daw sila ng tawa. So ano yung ginawa namin? Etong lalagyan na yan, yung ating mga ribbon na yan, bumili kami ng talong. Tapos yung talong na yan, ganyan na lang kaliit. Actually, ganyan na kaliit yung talong na yan. Tapos nilagay namin, sabi niya, please open inside the bedroom. Yan, X-rated. Tapos pagbukas niya, talong. Tapos sabi ng asawa, ang liit-liit naman ng talong na yan. Tapos it became a joke amongst themselves, among the best friends, amongst themselves. So that made us and that guy who ordered this went back to us and said, uy, the best talaga yung ginawa nyo. Like, hindi makalimutan ng asawa. Hindi makalimutan na. Pero parang, appreciate ko talaga that you guys went out of that, out of your way in doing something like that. And that for me is like a good sign because why? Potentially he might order again. Second, the wife and si Gabriel will remember Experience Philippines, no? And might order from us in the future. So ininvest ko na yung fun, yung saya, no? This third one naman, the reason I'm sharing all this, medyo mahaba-haba yung share ko sa inyo because again, if we stick to fixing, like ito lang yung pwede natin gawin at ito lang yung mindset mo na as a negosyo, ito lang kaya lang namin po no? Somehow that ruins the customer journey. Here, particularly, ito yung nag-order nito, super yaman. Like, mayaman. Okay? One is a real estate developer, no? Na Chinese. Pero, ang nag-order is basically yung team niya. Ang gusto lang ng guy, tinanong ko, sigurado po kayo talaga, ito na yung gusto niya? Gusto lang niya talaga ng Nescafe Original na sachet. Like, sobrang yaman niya, pero ito yung gusto niyang, itong punong-punuin mo yung box ng Nescafe Original, lagyan mo ng sigarilyo, tsaka ballpen. Yun ang mga favorite niya, ma-appreciate na niya yan. So we complied, and this one was really well appreciated by the recipient, no? So that's understanding your customer journey, like asking them questions, making them feel that you're part of their part of the conversation, so they really know why they're doing it, why they're purchasing it, for whom is it for whom is it, and then what's the reason behind it. Because when you understand that, then you can tweak the selling process, yung pagbenta. Mas madali yung pagbenta nyo kasi nakikinig ka na. And at kahit na ikaw naman, kung ikaw naman yung customer, gusto mo rin naman may nakikinig sa'yo, di ba? Mas most likely, mas bibili ka pa nga pag may pinakikinggan ng kausap mo eh. Great. Are you guys following? You have any questions so far? No questions? Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Okay, here's the third one is basically strive for omnichannel engagements. No, you have to understand that not every customer is there in that certain channel. What I mean, so hindi lahat ng bibili ng produkto, for example, for Experience Philippines, hindi lahat ng pupunta sa Experience Philippines pupunta ng Facebook. Okay, may mga tao nasa Facebook lang sila. May mga customers na Instagram lang ginagamit nila. May mga tao na TikTok lang gusto nang gamitin. O may mga tao na gusto nila website ang pupuntahan. Alright. Or may mga tao na gusto nila tumatawag. Like gusto nila kung may kausap talaga sa telepono. Alamin yung mobile number para may kausap. No? So you have to understand if you're part of any business or if you're putting up any business, that no customer will always stick to that same place. No? There are rare breeds who will actually be in all social media channels, or they would engage in different channels, no? Like some people can be, they prefer being in the store, or some people can be all of this, no? Some people, they prefer chat talaga, kakausapin lang sila. Some people, they prefer email, okay? So, they can be in any of these or all of these, no? Why is it important to understand this? Because your conversation here, your conversation here, your conversation here, and here, and here, and here, okay, have to be tweaked to that channel. Obviously, pag tumawag sila sa'yo, hindi ka pwede mag-present. Hindi ka pwede magpakita ng mga screenshots. Hindi ka pwede magpakita ng anitsura. Hindi sila pwedeng pick please. Hindi pwede makita yan. Kasi nga, tumatawag. Obviously, dito, pwede sila magtanong na napakadaming question pero hindi naman sila bibili. Right? Obviously, dito, patagalan ng reply. Hindi ka magsasend sila ng message ganyan pero mag-reply sila 2 days later. Usually, ganyan pag mga banko, mga big brands, no? What I'm saying is that you just have to learn how to be present in these and to be able to answer questions and inquiries and engage in a customer efficiently in these channels. No? You can reply, you can create an automated reply, like meaning you have a fixed reply if someone sends an email. Okay, you can create, like for example, in Facebook and Instagram, you can actually create an auto-generated reply if you're away. If you're not online, no. So these are, you have to be. I'm just suggesting is that you try to be present in everything, as much as you can. Why? Because you don't know who you're trying to. You don't know who you are trying to. You don't know what channel your customers are actually more predominantly going to be using. So there are certain customers they prefer Facebook. There are certain customers that prefer emails, no. But so you just have to be present in all of that. Service level. Okay, this is important and not many customers or not many companies do this. In Experience Philippines, it's very important for me, no? Feedback. And you'd always hear me say that it's very good to have feedback. Feedback is a very good opportunity to improve your business and to improve our business, no? When you have feedback, the nice thing about it is that you can tweak the conversations, you can get best practices from it and tell to your team so that the team who encounters a similar thing can actually answer it this way as well. You can get ideas for it to improve your service or to improve a product that you have or a goods or a service that you have. You can get also ideas for it to improve like a tech that you have, like an idea that you've always wanted, like you've been stuck in this idea, but pag ito pala yung from this customer pala, makikita natin na, uy, pwede pala natin gawin to kasi suggestion niya. So, that's a very important aspect of customer relations and maximizing the customer experiences, improving the service level. And one clear way of improving the service level is after they purchase, after bumili sila. So may mga negosyante dyan, mga intern, no? After nag-purchase sila, always send a thank you. Right? That's a very, very, either via text, okay? Either via email, okay? Either you call them, okay? Why? Because na-appreciate nila. Another way is actually posting a screenshot of their, they like it and make it as a review. Tas itatag mo sila. Why? Kasi na-appreciate nila that they were part of they were part of your story. They were part of that success. So, and anyone who puts someone up feels good. And you always want that. So you want your customer to always feel good, to always feel like they made the right decision in purchasing you. Because that closes the deal, no? So imagine mo parang bilog yan. Okay, parang bilog yan. Basically, by monitoring and by creating a service level, like giving a feedback or sending a thank you, you actually close the circle. And that will make the customer come back to you. Because they will remember na hindi mo lang sila binentahan. Di ba tayo minsan gusto natin, medyo, pag nabentahan tayo, parang feeling ko, ginamit lang yata ako na-convince ako sa sales talk ni kuya. parang hindi ka most likely na bibili ulit. Pag nalaman mo na gano'n, parang feeling ko na manipulate ka sa conversation. But for us in Experience Philippines, it's completely different. No? That's the reason why if you notice, in the community that we have, in Experience Philippines community, yung ginagawa nila Dave, no? Na for example, may mga, or ni Ange, na may mga, yung team ni Dave, team ni Ange, na pag may experienced partner tayo na kausap, we screenshot it, we do a picture together, and we post it sa community page saying, thank you. You know? Because that would make that, because alam natin na, personally, inisip ko rin na, mas ma-appreciate ng tao na pag tinank you natin sila, kahit sino naman, mas matutuwa sila pag nag-thank you tayo. So all those small things add up as a big thing, you know, in the future. So you're like investing on it. So eventually, pag naisip sila na, baka naghahanap sila ng ganito, baka ikaw yung mag-isip nila ng pagkuhaan ng service. Gets? Ayan, tama. So ayan, same thing we do, nasama si ano. Ayan. Yes. Yeah, sabi ni Dave, same thing we do in Experience when we tag them and welcome them once they join the community. Just I think that's important, no? Totoo, sabi ni Mike, magbibigay sa akin ng great taste. Alright? Cool. Alright. Okay. So, next one. Alright, here. This one I really enjoy. I think I would say this would put the cherry on top of any maximization of customer experience is when you start building your brand through content, reviews, and community building. You know exactly what we do. Like, you know, that in Experience Philippines, you've seen, you guys know that. No? Ito yung ginagawa natin. No? So when you start creating content, yung ginagawa ni Dave, ginagawa ni Ange, ng team ni Ange at team ni Dave na nagpo-post sila about things to do in Miris or things to do in Panaga or guppies, you know, nanalo sila Rain at si Miggy of MR guppies ng competition, international competitions, pinost nila Dave na ganyan, or nila Mike or nila Paul, no? These things, if you were the clientele, if you were the customer, would make you feel good because, hindi lang pala sa akin habol is pera, or hindi lang pala sa akin habol is may panlagay lang sila sa show nila or anything like that. They really are really interested in what I do and in what I like and in what my successes are. They really are after that. So having to put that kind of content creates a positive community, a positive vibe. You know, that's why I always encourage brands. If you have businesses, if you're building a business, or if you're helping your parents in their business, teach them this, no? Whenever someone does a review, like a positive, screenshot nyo yun. Make a nice post out of it and then post it. You know, share it to people because right now, obviously you want to share good vibes. That's why tinutulong ko kayo Benj. Always share the good vibes, yung humorous stuff or inspirational stuff. Kasi nga masyado na madaming negative sa mundo, and you want to uplift people. You wanna make them happy, that to look forward to make them feel less anxious about life, no? So try to post those stuff, positive reviews, no? Interesting content, and creating a community, no? Here's an example, you know, like for example, I think sinashare ko sa inyo kanina, no? So, this girl, actually, ito yung girl na sinagot na, ito yung girl na nakakatoto, ito yung girl na nagpadala ng secret admirer gift box sa guy. Right? So, siya yung nagpadala ng secret admirer gift box sa guy, taga Bulacan, sinagot ng guy. Di ba? Sana all. And then, she really appreciated it because ginawa pa ni Kuya Gilbert. Kumanta pa siya eh. Alam ko kinanta niya yung guy eh. Habang binibigay niya yung gift box eh. Tuwan-tuwa yung girl. No? Tuwan-tuwa yung girl. Although hiyang-hiya yung guy, but tuwan-tuwa yung girl. Pero nakita naman yung effort, no? So, and then after that, she started ordering for her friends. So, that's why she ordered, I think, 5 different kinds of theme boxes. And the last one she ordered was for herself, yung Korean theme box, which is what we prepared for her. Ito yung sinasabi sa kanina na bet ko yung talong na X-rated. So, this is one really was, you know, tawan-tawa yung wife ng guy because nga we went out of our way in creating something that's really, you know, humorous na X-rated but not really X-rated, no? Here's another one that I really enjoyed so much because this is actually creating content, no, and positive reviews, no. One of the requests ng client was, or ng buyer was basically, pwede pakilagyan ng adult toy sa loob. So, naglagay kami ng adult toy nga, Meralco bill, Globe bill, pangsandok, sabon, kitchen yan, mga yan. So, lahat ng pwede mong gamitin, calculator, pang adult, yan ang ginawa. So, pati bill niya, 1,000 million. Tawan-tawa sila dito. I think this one really made the person really happy. Ito naman, I had this one. I think this is medyo may pagka-rated R ng konti, but to be honest, I have no idea if you can see the screen, no, I don't understand. When I came back to the Philippines, I have very little, I knew I understand Tagalog, but I didn't understand certain words in Tagalog, but ngayon magaling lang mag-Tagalog because puro ko ng Tagalog. But there was, itong tawa ko, pamahid ng tam. So like, if circa 2013 when I came back here, I wouldn't understand what this was, but then nalaman ko, tawang-tawa talaga ako sa babae. Ang babae nagregalo nito. This is basically a girl nagpapabili ng good morning towel. Yung nabibili sa mga jeep na towel para ibigay dun sa boyfriend niya. So, this was really fun. So, we entertained this one. No? So, ito naman, si Goldilocks Girl. Hindi ko siya makakalimutan. Oh my God. Usapan namin to, grabe. Siguro inabot kami ng 1 hour na usapan. Papadala rin siya ng, ito yung masaklap na kwento. Si Goldilocks Girl, na minakilala siya na guy sa Goldilocks. So, love at first sight. Okay? Laging bumibili si Kuya sa Goldilocks branch na yun. So, sabi niya, sa Experience Philippines, please gawa naman kayo ng Goldilocks na box na laman puro Goldilocks. So, pumayag ako, sige, gagawa tayo na ganyan. Tapos, nag-message siya, umiiyak, sabi niya, nalaman ko lang recently na may girlfriend siya. So, yung secret admirer box niya, wala. So, hindi na heartbroken si ate girl. Sabi ko, ate girl, meron na kami moving on box. Gusto mo na move on? Gusto mo move on? Ayan. So, wala na. So, hindi siya talaga na tuloy. I think this one is the scariest of all the things that I had any request. And this is a content that I share. Kasi when people read this, they're very entertained. This is the one yung girl nag-request na black na boxer, mangkok at kandila. Tapos yung kandila dapat sperma pa yung brand. Sabi sa loob ko, unang-una hindi ko alam ano yung mangkok. I thought it was manok. So sabi ko, manok? Why would they need a manok? Sabi ko, baka meron silang parang ritual na gagawin na papatayin dun sa papatay nila yung manok. I don't know, may sumpain ba sila? May gagawa ba sila ng kulam or something like that? Medyo natakot ako dito. Pero natawan-tawa ako talaga. Pero natawa pa rin ako. Ito naman, nag-order siya ng jowa gift box, pero hindi niya, ang in-order niya, hindi niya alam in-order niya yung rated R. Basically, rated R version is the adult toys. No? So, nagmumura-mura siya sa akin. Bakit daw yan ang binili ko sa kanya? Sabi ko, ma'am, kayo yan po yung in-order nyo based on the order form. No? So, alright. So, anyway, let's go back now. I shared all of those. So, let's go back to the first one. So, alright. So, again, we did ensure that you're, in optimizing customer experience, you have to ensure that your online presence is optimized, meaning you're present everywhere. You have to understand your customer journey, okay? And they have to understand whenever channel you are actually talking to them in that channel. Meaning, yung conversation nyo should fit that channel, no? So, kung Facebook yan, should fit the mindset of Facebook or Instagram, no? Or TikTok or an email or a call, no? Monitor service levels, meaning you always have to exceed, ito yung sinasabi, exceed their expectations, no? And then, at the end of the day, you always have to reinforce your brand. Now, people buy from you not only because they like the experience, but because it was referred to you by someone else. No, sometimes our buyers come to us because it was a referral of the good experience, and this actually helps out, like coming out with a positive reviews in your Facebook page or whatever platform you use. Sharing content about the way you engage with your customer. That's how I call it. It's called BTS, not the Korean boy band, but BTS meaning behind the scenes. So always try to share the behind the scenes and then build a community out of it. No? We don't have much time. It's almost an hour. Wait, tips and strategies. Here. These are the last tips that I would have for customer improving or building your optimizing your customer experience. No? Empathy mapping. No? Empathy mapping is basically you learn how to I don't want to say map your empathy, no? But you learn how to basically understand what your customer is going through, and you cannot be logical with it. When I say logical with it, you cannot think A B C D E F G, no, sequential, very logical format, no. But rather is actually you have to think, why is this person saying this and why is this person asking this? Like for example, yung mga tao nag-a-ask namin, nandun na yung presyo, pero nagtatanong pa rin, how much po? Alright. Initially, if you were there, if you're going to react, it's like, tanga-tanga naman ng tao na to, may price na nga, ano pa siya, tatanong pa siya, how much po, di ba? But sometimes, maybe, because their mindset is not geared like your mindset. So maybe they don't understand, or they didn't read, or they probably have a different way of thinking. So how do you answer that person? Answer it pa rin. Like if someone says, how much po? Answer the price. And this is one of my pet peeves in when people do selling online, is that how much po? PM is the key. Okay. Why are you adding additional step to your process when you could easily answer that person right there and then, Especially if you're a business, you don't have time really and you always have, I rather work it on a positive note. As a business, you'd rather be transparent than being something you feel like that you're hiding something. So if someone asks, how much po? Okay, HM po. Answered it. Like, it costs this, and this. So that way, if the person is interested in purchasing from you, they'll go probably message you even further. But if the person says, like, ay, ang mahal, at least alam mo nang you don't want to waste time with that person anymore. Life cycle, customer life cycle. This is the mind, and I think you guys as expert of the interns of Experience Philippines, but I want to share, the customer life cycle of Experience Philippines is from cradle to the grave mindset. I've been a big fan of Jollibee in that sense, no? Because Jollibee is a generational brand, and I want Experience Philippines to be a generational brand as well. What do you mean by that, sir? What I mean is that you have something that the kids can enjoy, and when they grow up, like in our case, kasi napapansin mo, if you were part of me during the time that I started Experience Philippines, is that some of them were single when they started to join Experience Philippines. Tapos nagkaroon sila ng jowa, so we started having a singles road trip. Tapos nagkaroon sila ng mga jowa nila, so nagkaroon kami ng couples road trip. Okay? And then now may mga asawa na sila. Okay? And then eventually in the future, they would probably have kids. So, and I want Experience Philippines to be there as part of their with their kids, no? So we can have a kiddie workshop or kiddie road trip, no? That their kids can actually be part of the brand, no? And then if they become senior citizens, we have senior citizens road trip, So that's a life cycle, that you want. You don't look at, whenever you put up a business or whenever you have an idea, do not look at it on that fixed time frame. Some businesses, some ideas can be like that. But if you're gonna do something epic anyway, if you wanna do something great and create an impact in the world, might as well think of it as a generational thing, as a life cycle. That you're gonna be part of their journey all throughout. No, whether they started this at this point, nag-asawa sila, nagkaanak sila, naging matanda na sila, namatay sila, pero yung anak mo pwede na sila service na. So you wanna be present in that. Sir, hindi naman kami mabuhay ng ganun katagal. That's fine. It's a legacy that you're gonna leave to them, no? In your company, no? So you want to train your team to think like that, so that the ones who take over me will have that mindset, especially in the future, so that they can take care of those people who will come in the future. Because I want the brand to be existing more than Jollibee, So, and what's the best way to learn about your customers? This is for me, I always ask questions. That's, if you notice, I always am a very inquisitive kind of guy. I always ask why, where, how, what. So that's one way of doing surveys and interviews. That's one way to get really the idea of how your customers want to interact with you, and also get feedback from them, so you can also improve your service. And then lastly, I think this is like one of the important for me as a business owner, and I want you guys to all to understand. And when you do a project like now with your intern in the student intern uh, VA initiative, always have a support system. That's the reason why we exist. Ako personally, this is one why I want this startup to be a bit different from the other startup, is because I want to be that kind of guy, that founder who really wants to support their team. So if you have a business, so napansin nyo, we're trying to help out all these other businesses because it's a tough world now, no? Mahirap talaga ngayon yung kadalasan. Mahirap talaga magnegosyo now with the pandemic. And you want to help people as much as you can, no? And not to be selfish, okay, right? And then always mindset nyo lang, be always grateful you have the opportunity to serve. Why? Because having a grateful mindset that you're actually given the opportunity to help someone out will help you out understand who you are as a person. Ano ba yung mga gusto mong, parang, like for example, some people are not patient enough to answer the how much po. Right? Some people are not patient enough to answer those and they get irritated by it. But, that's another way of learning how to be patient and how to be able to be empathic to your customers. So, be grateful that you have that opportunity, no? And then, lastly, you have to stay true to your vision. Always stay true to your, as Experience Philippines, my vision naman for Experience Philippines is really to connect and engage in the community and to deliver happiness, no? So that's really my vision. So if people are not being connected, we're doing something wrong. If people are not happy when we do something, a service or a product for them, then there's something wrong. So we don't want that. So try to always go back to who we are, why we do things, okay? And that would make us more fulfilled in the long run. So it feels like the work doesn't feel like any more work. The work feels like enjoyable in the process. And that's it for our maximizing or how to maximize customer experience class. Great, good job. Shout out kay Jonathan. Shout out. All right. Ay, mga ano niya nun. Kadalasan overpriced yung sagot ng PM is the key. Yeah. But natin magagawa. So may questions kayo, guys? I'm opening the floor for questions. Guys, you have any questions? Let me know. Questions. Alright, may questions? One question siguro. Dave, go. Go, Dave. One question. Ano ang iyong question, Dave? Pa-shout out. Okay, wala question si Ange. Mga loko kayo. Kakasama tayo sa chat tapos ganyan kayo. Ito question ni Dave. This model of engaging with your customers, investing time for them is something na kaya niya kasi we have a very personal product. Okay. Which is our theme boxes. Okay. So ano yung question, Dave? Okay. Good question. Okay. So, ang tanong ni Dave is basically, pwede natin gawin laundry business. Sige, water business. Mga water delivery. Alright, sige. The questions basically is, how do you personalize? So, basically the question, I will write it down na lang. So, Dave's question is, how do we basically personalize a very non-personalized type of business. I.e., sabi, i.e., water delivery. Yan. Alright. So, ito. Sabay ito lang na, yan. Iyan ako na lang. Show natin. So, how do we personalize a very non-personalized, like, quote and unquote lang yan, a non-personalized type of business, i.e. water delivery? Alright. There is no such thing as there is no such thing as a non-personalized type of business. You will always deal with human beings. Walang robot na mag-order sa'yo. Right? Unless that's how the future is going to be, maybe at 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now, magkaroon na tayo ng parang robots. No? But at this point in time where we're living, no one is, we will always engage with human beings. No? Human beings will always have needs and will always have expectations, will always have, will always look forward to something happy when they purchase something. Right? Even if it's a water delivery, how do you personalize something like that? No. One, there are many aspects, I would say, no? There are many aspects that you can personalize it. The way it's delivered to you. Do you know, like, sometimes the sad part of it in terms of the water delivery is that usually they just dump it lang sa side ng building or ng condo or sa kwarto or sa room or sa whatever, no, sa unit, that without any parang I just wanna ano lang. I think that's one, no? Parang there's no love in the whole process of delivering the water, no? If I were in the water delivery business, if I were to think about it outside of the box kind of thing, I would remember their birthday occasions, okay? Na kung kailan nagbe-birthday yung mga nagbumibili ng water delivery sa akin, and I'll give them something extra when they order that box, no? Or when they order the water. Why? Because ang magiging mindset nila, uy, pinabasa pala niya yung form na pinila po kung kailan ang birthday ko. So matutuwa na sila doon. So magiging happy na sila doon. Second, another idea that I would do to make them feel more appreciated is asking them any feedback on how to improve the service. And usually they would have a lot of things to say. I-note down yun. And then when you note down that and you actually applied it to your business, tell them, this is what we changed based on your suggestion. Then you start personalizing it. What happens after that? The relationship with you and with the water delivery service and the brand and the customer increases. They'll be more happy. They'll be more appreciative of what you do. And that's how you should think. You know, whenever you do any mundane task or any simple business, you can always create something exciting about it. There's always an opportunity to make it go beyond the usual exchange of hands and money, no? So you can create something out of it, basically. Conversations is a good way of doing it, like it's basically asking how they are. That's a good way of improving the business. Ano hindi ko na-gets yung tanong mo, Ange? Like a generic box. Ano yung generic box? Sana nasagot ko yung tanong mo, Dave. Hindi ko na sure kung nasagot yung tanong mo. Cool. Clear ba? Clear. Yes, thank you very much. Good point out. Yay. Goods na. Okay, goods na. Okay. Sige, any questions pa? You guys have any more questions? Yes, for sure. I agree. You can always do that. Alright, that's it. So that's basically how, if you don't have any more questions, guys, we can end the live already. You may ask me, okay. So may question si Ange. If we will provide a generic box and not customized, As experienced Philippines, we have the capability of customizing. So this is really outside of our meaning. We can actually sell something generic. We still can, no? But I would always go back to customizing it kasi mas may value. Kasi tandaan mo, when you customize something, the value increases. The value goes higher. So generic boxes, yung mga RTW type, like mga damit. Napansin mo yan, pag sa SM, pag generic yung box mo, or generic yung mga damit, usually mas mura yan. Pero pag customize, mas mahal. So because you put more value into it. Now, which is one that you want to focus on? Having a lot of customers paying this much, or having few customers but paying this much, right? At the end of the day, kung ang strategy mo is uh, uh, doing this much but generating this much, then this is option B is way better than option A. Mas nakakapagod kasi yung option A. Goods? Clear? Any more questions, guys? Wala na. So that ends our optimizing the. So basically, that ends our customize. So basically, that ends our topic for today, which is online class on how to optimize customer experience. Yeah. So I really like to thank all of you guys for tuning in and for coming over and spending time with me and this class. No, at least you learned something new. So we'll continue the discussions along in Viber or in Discord. If you guys have any more questions, you can ask me there. We would like to welcome one of these new guys. So this is new guy who's going to be joining us, and his name is this guy, Christopher. So guys, welcome na lang niyo si Christopher. Christopher, welcome to Experience Philippines. He's your newest intern. He'll be starting today. Starting actually. Pinastart ko lang siya sa online class, pero magsisimula na rin siya. So welcome him. Alright? So maraming salamat sa inyo sa mga nag-attend. Kay Dave, kay Ange, kay Paul, kay Benj, kay Jonathan, kay Christian, kay Mike. Alright? Sino ba? Si Aliza nandito pala, si Patricia nandito rin, Nestle, Romeo, Jem. Very good guys. Good job. Nag-attend kayo. So I'm very happy. All right? So, all right, I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys in I'll see you guys in Discord or in Viber. So, that's all for today. Next week ulit, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Save that calendar that we're going to be talking about video marketing. So how important video marketing is in terms of promotions and building a brand. All right. See you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.